Hello, I'm Russell, and welcome back to another episode of me working on my Land Rover Discovery 1 and getting it prepped for a new long block from British Atlantic. So I just got back from my family's spring break trip, and at the end of the video I'll throw some photos and pictures from our trip. We just got back from Alaska and we had a great time. So today we're going to be going through and installing some sway bar ball joints. I got these parts from British Parts of Utah. And so I mentioned in a previous video, I get 90% of my parts from Atlantic British. They're super helpful. Salesmen there are excellent to deal with. There's very few parts that I don't get from them, and this is one of them. The reason I don't get these from Atlantic British is just the price. So the cheapest I can find for good high quality parts, for ball joints at least, have been from British Parts of Utah. This cost me, I think, $64 or something like that. And it comes with 2 ball joints for the fronts, and it also comes for the sway bar itself, these rubber grommets or gaskets, or bushings is probably the proper word. So we're going to get those installed today. I'm also going to have my a helper. My son Redley is going to be helping us today. And so you can come in the video. So he's going to help us today as we get these sway bar ball joints installed. Before we get installed, I'll just talk a little bit about why I'm replacing them. When we get to the vehicle, you'll see exactly why. The ball joint itself is shot, the little gasket inside there's completely gone, and it's barely holding on. So that's the reason why I'm replacing it. The other thing I'm hopeful that it does, before my engine blew up, it would get a little squirrely or a little light in the steering wheel after like around 80 miles an hour, just above 80. You'd feel like the steering wheel would get really light and loose. I'm not sure if this is actually going to help that, but it definitely can't hurt. They're not in a good state at all. And the reason I'm doing this before the engine goes in, there's a lot more room I'm going to have. Inside the engine bay to access it versus being on my back underneath it. So let's zoom in and show you what I'm working with inside the vehicle. Alright, so now I'm standing in the engine bay. I'm going to step down on the axle here. And so this is what I'm replacing. So on both sides, I'll zoom in here a little bit. Those are ball joints that connect up to the sway bar, and those are those bushings that came in the kit as well that I'll be replacing. And so I keep following the bar all the way over. You'll see there's the other side. And if I follow that back down, you'll see there is the other ball joint. So that is what I'll be replacing. I'm going to take you back to the table and so you can see what the new parts look like. And then I'll bring you back to the vehicle and get them changed out really quickly. Alright, so here's what I'm working with. Let me open up one of the boxes. Open up the bag. So you'll see inside the bag you get 1 ball joint. You get 1 washer, and then you get 2 bushings that go inside right here. Now let me open up the instructions real quick. So I opened up the instructions and I'm looking at if it shows me which way it presses in. Oh, but it fits just like that. So they don't even need to be pressed in. I broke out the grease thinking I would have to push them in, but it doesn't look like I need to. I might put a little bit of grease inside just to make sure they're lubricated and doesn't catch on the bolt that goes through. So let me open up the other one. Same thing. Open the bag, get the ball joint. This thing slide in like this. I'm assuming this washer, because it came with the nut, goes on this end of it. So I got those 2, and then again, it comes with, let me open these up. These are Euro Spares is the brand. Looks like they're made in India. And that what goes on the bar itself. Alrighty, so that's what I'm working with. Let's get it installed in the vehicle. Alright, so these bolts, if you can see me up there, they are 17s.
I can see your head.
See me? Good?
Yeah.
Watch out for the camera.
Kind of.
So I'm going to first by taking this sway bar down from up here. So I'm going to grab a 17 wrench, the impact, and I'll zip those off real quick.
I cannot see it no more.
Alright, so first I got the needle nose pliers. I'm going to grab, we have this cotter pin out too, so I can see what size the ball joint nut is.
I don't think they can see it.
It's alright, they can hear me.
It's so bright on this one. On my side, it's bright. If you go over there, it's really bright.
Alright, so that cotter pin's out. It was rusted pretty good. And it's not a 17, it's bigger. I wonder if it's an 18. A little bigger, but let's start by getting these off. So I got a 17 on the impact and a 17 wrench.
I had to go outside.
Okay, so there's one.
Do you want me to hold it?
I got it, buddy. Actually, come here, squeeze the trigger. Okay. Go. Okay.
Oh no.
That's it.
But it's hot.
Yeah, it's gonna be hot.
Shoot this one.
Yeah, a lot of torque. So there's that. Right, so let's put these back on top of each other so we don't lose them. So these.
So it goes like this inside.
Okay, now let's do the one right behind you.
Can I do it?
Yep.
Give me everything. How do I do it?
Well, I'm gonna hold this one up top.
I wasn't expecting it to be that heavy.
Yeah, it is heavy. One second, right before you do that. Let me see. There it goes. Now let me hold it and you hit the button.
Go?
Yep. Good. Let go.
So every time you hear it like that, you let go of that.
Yep, that means it's fully out.
Are we going to do that one?
Nope, that's the steering dampener, which is already replaced. One more here. Let me see.
How can I see it?
You want me to just get it, or you got it?
Okay.
Okay. Keep going all the way. Got the washers? See all that dirt right here? It's probably 30-year-old dirt.
Glass?
What is that? Oh, look, show the camera. That's a piece of the motor.
Can go through, show it.
You can see right here. That's a piece of the motor that was found.
Can they see it?
I saw it. So we got. Where's the other nut at?
I can find it. I got the one.
Alright, let's bring the camera down so you can see exactly what I'm looking at over here. Alright, Radley, show them what we found.
This is the back of the This is the front, this is the back.
And we think that is a piece of metal from the motor that we found.
It has tiny lines.
Yeah. Looks like it's the size of a piston or whatever piston. But let's transition and show you what I'm looking at and why I'm replacing these. So I'll get it to focus. And so I got the bar here. Let me zoom in maybe. And sorry for the shakiness. I'm trying this by hand. But you see that? There's nothing left in that bushing. And that's on both sides. So I mentioned earlier that previously when I was anything above 80, it wouldn't do any death wobble, but the steering would feel just loose, and it's never going to be a modern vehicle. But I don't know if this is going to fix it all the way, but when I focus it, it definitely is not going to hurt. Widen up focus, there we go. So now we're just going to get those replaced, and we'll get these bushings here replaced with new ones, and we'll get it zip backed on. Alright, so I had to put you back up top. It was a 19 millimeter, excuse me. I couldn't get a good angle on the tripod down here, but I think I showed you close enough, so let me just get this knocked out real quick. That sun is brutal. Forgot to get the cotter pin out of this one. So you see this, bud? Let me show you. So it's called the cotter pin. So it's a little piece of wire or metal that they put through this, and that keeps that nut from backing off. Well, it's just you can install a new one if it has it, but that just makes so your nut doesn't fall off. It goes actually through the bolt. So I'll show you once I get it off.
Dad, can you show me when you get it off?
Yep. Here's that close up. You can just see that. I've seen a lot of wear and tear. It has to be original. So we'll get that replaced. Get a better look now that I'm out of the vehicle. But this is the same thing I did inside the vehicle. Crescent wrench on. And you can just see in there, this one, it's like glue. It's so old. It's like it turned into grease. Like a chewing gum, actually. Okay, so it did not come with these bolts, so I'm going to have to reuse these. So I'm going to take it in the garage and get them cleaned up. Alright, 1 second, I'm just going to take a wire wheel right to these. This is to get them cleaned up. And I will be reusing these washers and nuts. Use some vice grip so I can get away from my hand a little bit. That way I can protect my hand a little bit and just fire away. So if you can see that, here's before, or excuse me, before and after. So cleaned up really nice. So we'll get the other one done now. Alrighty, and just like that, we got one done and two done. So here's how they turned out. Alright, let's take it back to the car, and the truck, and get them installed. Alright, I'm going to get one installed on the ground, the same way I took it off. That way when I'm on the vehicle, one will slide in, I'll install the other one, and then bolt it up from the back last. Also on the ground, I'm going to replace these real quick. But first I'm going to clean this up, and it goes like this. The whole ball joins on the inside, and the nipple is pointing to the outside, like this. So that's how I'm going to put it on. So I'm going to take a little grease, just a little bit, just put it inside. Actually, I'm probably just going to put it on the bolt itself. Just on the smooth side, just so, not a lot, just a little bit. Here, I'm going to get some Loctite, not Loctite, excuse me, anti-seize. Loctite wouldn't be good. Just around the threads. A little bit of anti-seize. So I'm going to tighten it up. If you can, the best practice is always tighten from the nut side and not the bolt side. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm not going to use this to tighten it all the way down, just to get it tight, and then I'll switch over to a ratchet. So just like that. I'm going to grab my ratchet and get the rest of the way. The proper way is to actually do some torque specs, but if you don't have the torque specs, you should always tighten it by hand and not using an impact. You just can't tell how much torque you're actually putting on it. Alright, so that's one in. I'm going to take a look at these bottom ones now and see the best course of action. I think this metal plate peels off. That peels off around it. I'm just going to clean this up a little bit with the wire wheel. Same thing, I'm going to put grease on the inside. Some on the side too. You don't want to put a lot because you don't want to collect dust. You know, there's grease that's not being used, it's going to attract dust. So I'll wipe away the excess I have. And then just push this back down. Just like that. Alrighty. So just like that is ready to go back on, and I'll put this ball joint on under the vehicle. Get the camera set up and get it done. Alright, so I'm back under here. We zoom you on in. You can see the new one there. Bring you over here. Focusing on the wrong thing.
Daddy.
There it goes. Right there, brand new.
Dad.
Thank you. Hope you liked that episode and learned something about putting in new sway bars. Keep watching and subscribe to follow along as we get this new motor put in. There's a few videos yet to come. I did get in the mail my new oil pan or oil sump. It is used. I had a hard time finding a new one, so I got to use one. So I do need to clean that up, so I'll make another video about just cleaning that up, getting it repainted and ready to go before the new motor shows up. In my last video, I talked about needing a new center console, and I ended up finding a early Discovery 2 center console. I haven't checked yet, but I think it will work. But subscribe so you can stay tuned to see if that center console fits in my Discovery 1. As promised, here's some pictures from our spring break in Alaska. See everyone next time.
Okay, how I feel, oh baby, how I feel. You take a little trip with me, I'll show you how to live. I like my trucks up high and my cars down low. We ain't rushing for nobody, we gon' take things slow. Just a little taste of how we do. Yeah, mama stacked that plate up with soul food. Everybody, my cousin, got a problem, better hush it. This that southern hospitality, but dog, easy does it. Boots ain't boots without mud, and a house ain't a home without love. T-A-T without a little something sweet. You may not like it, but it sounds like a good time to me. A good time to me. It sounds like a good time to me. A good time to me. There's something that city girls love about the way we do it round here in the country with our jacked up, souped up trucks. But man, we keep it simple with a little bit of money, yeah. Some things won't change. Might look crazy, but I'm telling you, baby, gonna show you one sure thing.